What the heck is going on? It's been a month since I've been away, and I've seen two banger chapters back to back.
Yeah, baby! Yeah, baby! That's what I've been waiting for. That's what it's all about.
Hey y'all, let's go through the chapter 1091 called Sentamaru. Man, I kind of feel bad for Kizuru. I love that this chapter showed Kizuru and Sentamaru's relationship. The cover page of this chapter with the Straw Hats eating pizza was cute. My favorite was Brooke sipping tea in the back. Robin's not in this cover page. Is she supposed to be the flamingo? Because of that bird connection she has in her name? Also, Frankie's not here. He must be the oven. Also, are the flamingos foreshadowing for Doflamingo? Doflamingo could also relate to the Kuma pacifistas we see, since we saw them both together when Dofi was first seen. Speaking of agendas, there's Carrot in this cover page. Is this foreshadowing that Carrot? We see the Mark III pacifistas attack the marine ships. What are these cursed sea beasts? With how many mice are showing up in this chapter already, do I gotta make an analysis on rats as well? We see some of the vice admirals in action. Sorry, that was my dog in the back. Alright, no, you're telling me that the CP agents aren't able to fight the pacifistas, but the vice admirals can? That's crazy. The pacifistas, just like the Seraphim, have a control hierarchy for authority chip holders. Kinda makes you wonder why Saint J. Garcia hasn't taken control of the pacifistas yet. Maybe he doesn't want to reveal himself just yet. Funny how Brooke says the dark memories from Sabaody. I pointed that out for no reason at all. The word dark could also be referring to Dark King Rayleigh, who is also at Sabaody. This could connect with the last time we see Rayleigh, which was on Amazon Lily to fend off Blackbeard, who is also known for his Darkness Devil Fruit. So this could foreshadow the dark memories that will appear on Egghead, which could relate to the Blackbeard pirates who are also coming to Egghead. Crazy action scene between Kizuru and Sentamaru. My favorite was when Sentamaru learned Joseph Joestar's secret technique during the time skip. The backstory about Sentamaru with Vegapunk and Kizuru made me smile. Look how cute this boy is. This line also reminds me of Samurai not feeling hunger that we saw in Wano. Ashigara Palm is a reference to the mountains associated with the legendary Kintaro, who inspired Sentamaru's design. It is a custom to put up a Kintaro doll on Boys' Day in the hope that boys will eventually become brave and strong. This makes me believe that Sentamaru might play a role in Usopp's dream of becoming a brave warrior of the sea, and we might see Sentamaru escape with the Straw Hats to Elbaf. Sentamaru's guard was topped by Kizuru. Kizuru is not only fast, but durable. This man is a menace. Sentamaru gets knocked out and Kizuru takes control of the Seraphim. Maybe Kizuru eating ramen was a foreshadow of him eating Sentamaru-chan. Okay, I'll stop. Also, what's with the flimsy passing over authority? Like the Vegapunks can still take over those pacifistas, but we are letting a person with no ranking in the authority chip hierarchy take control. It's Rob Lucci all over again. Bring out the big guns, we want to see the Gorosei in action, Oda. One thing I do want to say is that the authority chip is in fact shaped as a cube. In the One Piece world, I feel like a transponder snail would have been more in fashion with communicating with the pacifista, but the authority chip is just a cube. I wonder why Oda chose this detail for an authority chip. And Oda, you're not slick. You keep doing these panels where Punk Records looks like it's exclaiming or showing emotion. He did the same thing with the Sunny too. I'm telling you, Kizuru's Island Devil Fruit would go crazy if he appeared. I think Kizuru's ability looks interesting. It looks like a glitching or teleporting effect. Also, I forgot to mention before, but there are cacti on Egghead. If you don't know why cacti are important, go check out my short. So with cacti on Egghead, could there be an appearance of a bounty hunter soon? Could this maybe reference how Kizuru might have been a bounty hunter before he became a marine? Probably not, but I hope Oda shows as a bounty hunter. Stussy literally takes a bullet from Lucci's finger pistol to save Vegapunk. I feel pity for Lucci, man. He can never complete his mission. Saint Saturn has no use for him anymore since he has failed again. We might get to see Zoro versus Lucci. That fight would be fanfiction. We end the chapter with Luffy and Kizuru at the ship. Let's go! This scene gave me chills. Look at our boy, he's all grown up. It's a Yonko versus an Admiral. Let's run back Sabaody and see what the outcome of this fight is. Man, this chapter was good. I'll give it an 8 baby Sentamaros out of 10. Kizuru is always funny when he appears in the scene, but this time it actually feels menacing. This man took out Sentamaru easy peasy. I wonder what's gonna happen to Lucci after all this, since he has betrayed both sides. Maybe he'll join Cross Guild after this. Overall, a very sick chapter. But we didn't have to wait long for the fight with Kizuru and Luffy because chapter 1092 gave us the continuation of the fight between Kizuru and Luffy. But first, we get to see what happens with Kuma and Mary Joa. Kuma is chained up but breaks free with his devil fruit with an Ursus chop. Also, why are the buildings bending here? Is that a design choice or is that actually happening? And then we see Kuma encounter Akainu. It's about to go down. Akainu uses Hellhound to give him the Whitebeard treatment and cleaves his face off. Interestingly, he has blood flowing through him, so he's not completely a robot but more of a cyborg. I wonder if this is also true about the Ancient Giant on Egghead, if Kuma and the Ancient Giant are parallels. Could the Ancient Giant also bleed? Anyways, after getting obliterated, he runs. I guess he's cut into no fear because holy boy. He also got the Aokiji treatment. With all these treatments, Akainu should be deemed the Surgeon of Death. But luckily, Kuma escapes. Not sure why he came to Mary Joa if he was just gonna climb and then leave. I think he's just getting his steps in. Oh, I guess there's also the Celestial Dragons complaining in the back. We also got a flashback of Akainu with Bonnie. Akainu comments on how Kuma is just a puppet, so where could he be going? What was his mission? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. The Marines now step foot on Egghead, while Kizaru and Gear 4th Stakeman Luffy box it out in the lava stratum. This man zips away from the island and zips right back to Luffy with an E equals MC squared kick. That kick sent Luffy to the stratum barrier and destroying Vegaforce 1. Thankfully, the Sunny seems okay. Kizaru encounters Bonnie, where he says that he is on orders to eliminate Vegapunk, which is what Bonnie also wanted. But interestingly, Bonnie says she should be targeting someone else. Who could this person be in Kuma's memories? Bonnie attacks Kizaru with a timely thrust using some wires. It's interesting that she could use her ability through objects as well, but unfortunately, she gets flinged to the stratum barrier. Frankie doing a radical beam here is funny against a light Logia. Not sure if that would damage or empower him. Kizaru disappears, heading to the control room where Vegapunk is. The Stella Vegapunk cracks York's code, but I wonder what the code was. Kizaru appears in front of Vegapunk instantaneously, but before he could finish his mission of eliminating Vegapunk, boom, Gear 5th Luffy. Let's go! An interesting detail is that Luffy's awakening made everyone's eyes pop out, but Kizaru's doesn't have his eyes popping out. Maybe it's because of the glasses, or maybe because of his hockey. It's also weird that they don't show Edison with his eyes popping out. Is it because he's a robot? But finally, the Ancient Giant awakens to the drums of liberation. This gave me chills, and I got a smile on my face when I first saw this. These eyes on the Ancient Giant kinda look like the ones on Zunisha when Luffy first awakened on Wano. Kizaru keeps talking about Vegaforce 1 being Vegapunk's dream robot. I wonder if maybe the soul of Vegaforce 1 went into the Ancient Giant because it seems like Vegapunk cared deeply about Vegaforce 1, and maybe a Cloboterman appeared after being cared so much, which then possessed the Ancient Giant. Maybe Luffy's awakening helped catalyze the process of incorporating soul into the giant. Just an idea I'm throwing out there. Now let's look at the cover page. Weird way of going through the chapter, but I wanted to talk about the Ancient Giant awakening with this cover page. Jinbei swimming with remoras. This one was a pretty cute cover page. Remoras are fishes that attach to sharks or whales in a mutualistic relationship with their host animal. But one interesting thing was that remoras also attach to turtles.
I like turtles.
Some cultures use remoras to catch turtles. A cord or a rope is fastened to the remora's tail, and when a turtle is sighted, the fish is released from the boat. It usually heads directly for the turtle and fastens itself to the turtle's shell, and then both the remora and turtle are hauled in. Smaller turtles can be pulled completely into the boat with this method, while larger ones are hauled within harpooning range. I mentioned turtles because of what happened at the end of the chapter. The giant robot awakened, but it can't be from the drums of liberation since the Nika Devil Fruit hasn't been awakened in 800 years, yet the robot awakened 200 years ago to attack Mary Joa. There's 3 things I could find that happened 200 years ago. The world government makes an alliance with Fishman Island after centuries of discrimination. The institution of slavery is prohibited by the world government to secure a peace agreement. Ryuga Kingdom also attended its first reverie, to which it does not attend until 200 years later. Additionally, the fighting fish appear near Greenbit, but before that, people could use the bridge to get to Greenbit. Remoras also have a shark connection, with the shark being on the cover page as well. Check out my shark theory if you're interested in seeing how these fighting fish are important. But also 200 years ago, the Saint Brisk leaves from the Brisk Kingdom carrying a crew towards the Grand Line. The crew makes it to Skypiea, but then vanishes without a trace. That ship fell down on the Straw Hats right before going to Jaya. The crew went down to discover the wreckage. There were interesting things found below. A vase in the shape of the mast, a picture of a lady, a broken sword, and a feather in a treasure chest. Now, the wrecked ship gets picked up by Masura's crew. but there's a certain sea beast that appears out of the water. That sea beast was a turtle. The giant turtle eats the wrecked ship similar to how the remora fastens itself to the turtle to reel it in. So in this case, the wrecked St. Brice ship represents a remora. Master's crew literally fished a giant turtle. Also, side note, I think the sea beasts were assigned a job to eat up any evidence of there being a sky island, because the turtle coincidentally appeared moments after the ship fell. Moreover, the loot that they found actually has some importance. The picture of the lady had a harpoon right through it. This could relate to the fact of harpooning larger turtles to haul them in. The harpoons found on the ship are probably from the Skypians who attacked them 200 years ago. This harpooning can also be seen after the sky turns dark and the ginormous shadowy figures appear in the sky, which was later found out to be the Skypian shadow, who are holding spears or harpoons. Even the shape of their sticks are shaped like the harpoon through the picture of the lady instead of more like a spear. So why do turtles matter, and how might it relate to the ancient giant on Egghead? Well, turtles have also been in another recent cover page, with Frankie guiding baby turtles on their way to the sea in chapter 1085, where Emu sits on the empty throne in front of King Cobra, or where King Neptune and Shirahoshi also appear in the chapter, possibly connecting to the alliance of Fishman Island and the world government 200 years ago because of how they are appearing at the Reverie. So with all these references to remora fishing of turtles and harpooning that happened 200 years ago in the One Piece world, it might relate to the ancient kingdom or the ancient giant somehow. Wait a minute guys, Frankie is sitting on a crab or lobster, and what was referenced in this chapter? The celestial dragons wanted lobster for dinner. That means that but y'all know me by now, this could all be a coincidence. This chapter was a 9.5 remoras out of 10 for me. The end definitely clutched up. They actually made Kizaru menacing and feel like an actual threat to the Straw Hats. And I'm excited to see how this Yonko versus Admiral fight will turn out. That's all for today. Thanks for watching, let Oda cook, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye.